Anyways, I do consider the layout on Cache to be somewhat similar of that of Dust 2 in that the bomb sites are very spread. You've got a very distinct middle, and you can push into B tunnels to get information. There's lots of ways to find that information. So in similar ways, but it's just at close quarters angles, more execution oriented, so it's entirely different in others.
Yeah, it's a classic Counter-Strike map. I love it so much. I think it's very well designed. 4 big choke points on the map, 3 main entrances. And here we go then, we are underway. We normally see a lot of aggression from CTs towards the B-bomb site on these pistols. Not this time, they're going to be a little bit more passive, but there is a flashbang into A storage. Space sort of trying to gather any sort of information they can, but you can see Penta are just waiting towards B with the bomb as well, trying to get a bit of a distraction towards A, maybe pull some players over. Let's see how this works out for them. Not much to report as of yet.
Good flash in. Xanterez takes full advantage of it, turns back and knows that the next threat would be from Squeaky. The problem is now he's getting backed into A main, and if anyone else had arrived, he would have been dead instantly. Instead, though, they want the B site. That's where Crystal finds the kill on only. Tabson, pushing all the way through A, is going to pick away all the way towards CT. This creates a distraction that buys more space, and that bomb, it needs to cross. It's a good choice to throw it. They get it over to David's hands, but look at the kills coming back against them. They're going to square off, and Xanterez finishes where he left off. He started it, he ended it, and it's 1-0 Space Soldiers. Now, Henry, we know what's happened in the first 3 maps when this has happened.
We do. I don't think it happened on Dust 2, but it did happen on Cobble and the first half of Dust 2, I think. Yeah, it didn't happen in the second half. So yeah, we'll probably see a force spike coming in here from Penta, which it has. Tech-9's Desert Eagles armor. Couple of flashbangs and a smoke as well. Space Soldiers, though, surely have learned their lesson a little bit and will be trying to keep as passive as possible, utilizing teamwork and discipline to make this round come in their favor. It's going to be a full A take from the terrorist side. They'll be utilizing that smoke, I'd assume, towards highway and trying to smother the bomb site towards quad. And there it is, there's a smoke, and here comes the execution.
Xanterez above that smoke is able to catch Tabson. Slight damage dealt towards Squeaky as well. Look at the follow-up. Desp, P90. 50 bullets, very confined spray control.
Not bad at all. And they recover the second round and put it to 2-0 in favor of the Turkish squad. And Penta now, needless to say, are on a full eco going forward. Crystal, as usual, won't be purchasing anything on that second round. He wants the AWP.
It's the first time we've seen a 2-0 scoreline. That time they escape the eco with a good setup and a good spray from Xanterez to start it off. Desk going back over, preset default smoke ready to go toward the A main position. Double nade over to make sure no one's going to jump up on top of the boost position at mid and potentially go for a Glock train. And they've covered all the choke points early, but that flash was well timed, and they managed to get out into the site, but the goal was to go for a bomb plant. We saw him. He didn't even look for the fence. He instantly went to try and plant, and Desp was overlooked and denied that instantly.
And the problem is they've given Xanterez 8 kills here. He seems to me like one of those guys, as soon as he gets rolling and that sort of style, he will have so much confidence going forward. We talked about him probably being the most skilled player on the server right now. So that could be kind of nuts the way he's kicked off so far. 8-0, yet to die. And we're going to the first round now. First gun round, I should say. As I said before, Crystal didn't purchase anything on that force spy, so he does get the AWP. No armor once again, though. And no orbs for the CT jet, trying to build up a huge reserve of cash here by keeping the P90 and Famous.
Jukes lobs another nade out to that boost. This time they go very aggressive, and we had an inkling based on Dust 2 that Space Soldiers might try and get aggressive on their defense. They've lost the first man, though. Desp drops inside of A. That forces 2 Gooks back up from highway, and the second man in mid. Remember, they did go for the 3-stack. Xanterez is going to be in a swing position at white box.
I think Desp had the P90. He pushed into the squeaky door to try and find that like surprise kill, try and utilize the close range combat that the P90 is so strong at. It didn't work out for him. 5-4. As Penta have the man advantage here. Still 1 minute remaining, so
they're going to go for this boost. And we know already, we've seen Engine. He's waiting just below it. If Crystal overlooks this even slightly, it's going to be a problem. I'm not so sure why Engine didn't hear that scope. But he is still in that corner. Crystal fires out towards Z, but watch the right side. Engine needs to be aware that they're pushing, because if he'd overextended, he wouldn't have been able to get even that first kill. Very important that he does, and now Xanterez takes down the op and has information that they're pushing over toward the B site. So rotations are coming in. It's going to leave only alone inside of the back of the site, but Xanterez is there to get to heaven immediately after, and 2 pop flashes coming through from that position in the hands of Xanterez were brilliant, so that only could pick up 2, and it's just Mike S that remains. And Tujux is sure to pop out and take him down any second. Mike manages at least to make it a one-on-one. He's actually heard Tujux, and this gets slightly more interesting. Even though it's 19 HP versus 100, Mike still manages to win the duel.
How has he got away with that? That's insane. 3 kills from Mike S. That one-on-one looked like it was tied up. He had 10 seconds remaining, or like 10 HP or something. And somehow the fan was unable to land a single bullet there. That would have been great for the Space Soldiers. They would have definitely guaranteed themselves like, 5 rounds potentially. Santera's on 9 frags on your screen right now, but that's a huge round for Mike S. One of the new pickups for Penta. And he steps up in that round. His first kills of the entire game. And he gets 3 in the first gun round and wins the one-on-one clutch. So nice, well, 2-on-1 clutch.
Boost on top of red for anyone attempting to push through. That also puts them in a very spammable position toward that Z connector. They did fix the bug where the first bullet was rendered as glass. Do you remember that?
Towards where, sorry?
Anders pointed it out in the theory crafting. Because there's glass and wood, the penetration is damaged based on the first surface it hits, and it would hit the glass on the first bullet. They've since fixed that, but you can still spam through quite easily towards Z Hall from this position that Mike S is in. So Engine managing again to get aggressive toward mid. This time plays it from the cubby, not directly underneath of the boost position, but he can't overstay his welcome. He can't make this too predictable. This is not something that every round they'll be able to get away with because Penta will be aware of it. There's ways to deal with it. Molotovs, flashes over, you name it. And once they get that mid control, they can open up this this map so easily. As Tabson and David P trying to do work on the B site, pop flash comes in, ineffective. Tabson wins the duel. Both getting sufficient damage dealt, gives them the man advantage yet again. Good push from Desp, though. Finds Mike this time with the AWP. He's going to try and fall back as well. Watch from Squeaky. They're not quite in a position. Tossin might have been able to pop out if he was about 4 steps closer, but instead, he's now got to fall back. And a late smoke on A main. Well, 29 seconds. It's going to slow them a bit, but they are going to pop through this. Nice corner flash from Tabson. In they go. No one over toward the quad side anymore. Xanteras has already dropped, and Tossin's going to find Desp as well. This is a good entry from Tossin, and that'll allow the bomb to get planted toward default. As double smokes also let Tugux get closer. It's going to be desperate as he flashes his way in, but spotted by Crystal. The round gone. Penta, with 2 straight wins, is going to force Space Soldiers into retreat early on.
Yep, Engine, the last remaining player there. Good stuff from Penta. Nice slow play. Got that first pick. We saw the CTs react to that quite nicely. The AWP was picked up by Desp and managed to get the only frag of the round for Space Soldiers. And the A execution. A nice little pop flash from A storage as well. Worked out very nicely for them. They got onto the site, cleared it together, and took down all the CTs waiting for them. That's actually broken the economy now of Space Soldiers. So, presumably a Felica coming in here. This is the push in the screen right now. I wasn't a huge fan of that. Flash seemed very ineffective. And then when they got back to the A site, it seems a very easy pickings for them. So, as predicted, Space Soldiers going to be here just on P250s. That's about it. We've got Mike S reacting to that. He's picked up the MP7. Means he can become the recon player, if you will. Someone who can go into bomb sites first, clear out close range positions, and not give away too much. He does get taken down.
This time, Tugux is going to make a great play over to B to start things off for Space Soldiers. Tabson trades it, but that's good damage from the pistols already. Unfortunately, Engine did get figured out this time by Tossin. And again, he's going to have to slow that down. That can't be something he relies on every single round. I'd sooner see them get control of vents than continue to try and take drop side of mid. Tabson carefully calculates that there is a player in the corner, but on retreat there was a chance that he could have been caught. He's not. Xantera is the next one that's close by. P2000 in hand. Wants that SMG, but gets caught by it, and now they double peek. And unfortunately goes down. Started with a bit of promise, Henry.
What, 1 kill?
Yes, Henry.
Yeah, well, we did get 1 kill. That was Tugux towards that B storage area, but nothing really came of it from them. Tabson rectified the situation, picked up 3. And now, I think the money still isn't great for the CTs. Yeah, you can see there's about 4k average. Tugux could drop an AWP if he wanted to, but someone would be on a very low buy. So they're going to go for 5 rifles. They've got 4 smokes, 1 kit, no incendiaries, which can be a huge factor on cash. Like, as a CT side, you want to be molotoving the top of boost pretty much at the beginning of every round just to stop any fast plays. That won't be an option this time. As we're into round number 7 now. Penta still definitely in the driving seat. We'll be going for this boost by the looks of things as well. Crystal will be able to take advantage of no molotovs being there.
Crystal wants the shot toward white box with the AK and then switches back to the op afterwards. Now the aggression has subsided. It's gone back to a more passive play from Engine, who will sit in Z connector this time with only the rifle. As Tuguk's in the back of sight. He's trying to spray through the smoke desperately to B main, but gets caught with the nade out. That allows Tapson to find the opening. And they're going to boost back up in toward middle. So they've opened up B, and now they want to make sure they cut off the rotations as Bomb is going to come back through the mid garage. They're not over-committing to just a single pick right now. And David's been spotted inside of that vent as the spray came through. And Terras runs back up toward the site. It's a 2 split right now for defense. I wouldn't be surprised if they try and push all the way down and get in towards CT spawn if they even look to go B, which is where the Bomb is slowly grouping. Either way, David, he's going to re-enter the site. Engine down already.
I'm not sure what's going on there with the CTs. They've got a bit of a lack of communication possibly, but this kill was huge. Tapson does get taken down, and they bring it back to the 3-on-3. The 3-on-2 as Micas coming in with a really nice flank there. CTs didn't seem aware of that whatsoever. And now that's the signal. Get your asses back towards A. Micas has got the great rotation position here. Unable to capitalize there. Reface, still unable to land any real damage. So, although information has been gathered, potentially still find a kill there.
Mike gets in behind white box after spotting that initial player. Bomb finally goes down on A as it rotated all the way back over. Only's going to try and win this duel. He knows Mike was already here once. They've already done damage in exchanging phone numbers, but who's going to call the other first is the bigger question. As Mike gets a little bit of damage through that spray, but they're going to go back and save.
Yeah, saving the guns here is definitely the best idea going forward. And that's setting up Penta very nicely indeed. That initial clutch from Mike S has just proven to be so essential to them. We've got 3 rounds in a row, make it 4 now. Off the back of this, Mike S continues his rampage. 2 for him this round. Only going to be remaining. I knew that was going to happen at some point. But he will be saving the M4. A1 picked up 2 frags for his troubles as well, but the rest of the team in a bit of a disarray in terms of the money. Can probably have some upgraded pistols, and that'll be about it. Tapson now with the AWP. It's been Crystal has been rocking it the whole time. Maybe he feels more comfortable with the AK on this map. Tapson on your screen now with some nice headshots towards headshot, ironically. And so there's only these 2 kills as they went into the B site. Now then, and number 8, 4 pistols, 1 M4. Tapson goes towards the face middle, and unable to do anything with it there as he's smoked out.
Crystal already over the drop, though, is checking those close angles. Again, Engine has been in there so many different times. Vent not broken, vent not occupied. There's a long push, and Santera is with a great shot. It's traded by Tapson's AWP, so they won't have the courage to push forward now for that rifle. And they will have spotted the second player as well, because that'll be on the death cam. So Tapson needs to be a little bit careful. And I think he's expected that he's gone all the way back down toward the door already.
They actually tried to do that boost in B as well on top of the bomb site with the only M4 they had to see if they could get a kill towards Toxic. Didn't happen there, and now you can see the terrorist actually hiding a weapon towards the van. That's
smart, because Tapson knows, all right, even if he is still there, I don't have to take the fight. All he wants is the AK. Let's just get rid of that and go back to duties here. And A site, and that player that was pushed up at long has since retreated all the way back over to a stack on B.
There we go then. Still a 4-on-4, and they have got the M4 on only. They have gone for the full stack towards the B bomb side though, and it's going to be pretty clear that A is open for business as the bomb will be planted any second. And the other guys with pistols can justify going for some kills here, but obviously only will want to be saving that before we gathered last round.
Crystal spots one jumping back over from B. There's that M4. Keep it alive as Only gets 1 kill with it. Tuguk's going to get another. That's a gun grabbed as he comes back around from mid. Only goes down. And suddenly, though, it is a 2 versus 2. There's still opportunity for this, and are they going to commit? That's the bigger question. It looks as though they want to, which is a bit surprising considering the situation with money, and Tapson makes them pay for that decision.
5 in a row for Penta. Really are coming to life here. I think the money situation, it's fine. Like there was a small window. They could have taken that round. Obviously, didn't anticipate the AWP waiting for them in A main, but they're going to go with double up setup now. Only and Desk going to be rocking those this time. And let's see how they approach this round. Whether they'll be showing any aggression, trying to utilize a decent spawn, face into A storage, for example, or maybe even just pushing B with a couple of players. Let's see what happens there, but double up setup, always viable. It's going to be Desk going towards B. Oh, that's a lovely shot from Crystal. Like, that's the good thing about that spawn. You can get there literally with about a second to spare before the smoke blooms sometimes. And if you're an AWP that gets an opportunity like that, you can take advantage of that all day long. Very nice stuff from Crystal. Brings it down to the 5-on-4. Didn't get one of the AWPers though. Still 2 AWPs remaining on the map. At this point, I'd say you want to rotate everyone off 2 Gucks there in B. I would say definitely leave an AWP there so you can actually face and get information for people and potentially a kill as well, but they've decided to keep the rifle.
It's double up set up now for Only, and Desp needs to come up and find the next kill. But unfortunately, it's Engine that gets dropped by Tabson instead. Wall of smokes inside mid. This will allow them to transition toward that vent position quickly, and Tabson showing off some brilliance with the AK. Takes down Desp. The AK, or rather, excuse me, the AWP never stood a chance, never even got to fire a shot. And they'll coagulate together on top of the B site. A shot from Tabson takes 2 Gucks, and Only forced to save.
Yeah, that double AWP setup really didn't pay off for them. Didn't get a single kill there. Tabson picking up 3. Great display of skill from him. Really did blow the head off Desp towards the Z connector there. Just going to be Only remaining. He gets a headshot into MyCast with the AWP. Now he's given his position away. The objective is to stay alive. A couple of kills would definitely help. Closes the door and is now going to be waiting.
They waited a long time to plant until they knew where he was, too. So they've got lots of time to hunt. Door's open. He's waiting for it. They're going to be in a tradable position this time. So even if he hits the first one, the second one's there immediately. And it was a best effort from Only. It was close, but Tabson's there.
Yeah, I think that's definitely worth it for the terrorists, even though they dropped 3. Getting the AWP off him and just making sure that's not going to be a problem next round. You can see the money's been heavily affected for the CTs right now. About 3,500 average across the board. And once again, going to be on eco. So after that really successful start, they won the pistol, got the 2 rounds after that. It's been 6 in a row for Penta after that MyCast clutch. And we're looking like incredibly strong right now. It's almost bank on it. It's going to be 7-3 here. As Crystal once again goes towards middle for that face. And just about can't see the player waiting there. It's going to be Xantares. Just going to be holding up now. You can see him spread across the map very nicely. They want to make sure they're waiting for any CT aggression. They have been showing that, and that's exactly what Crystal wanted. Is holding that angle, waiting for Xantares to get a little bit impatient. Take him down, open up the map, and then you wait for the CT reaction to come in now. They'll be doing something with this. They want to go face an angle. You can see one player waiting to go towards middle. Go towards A sorry, that's Desp. But the T's are being very disciplined in that. I'm very happy with this.
Yeah, I mean, 6 straight rounds T-side after losing pistols. Pretty impressive on Cash. This used to be a number that teams would look to achieve throughout the entirety of the first 15 rounds, and already they've arrived at that goal. David catches 2 Jucks pushing forward. It's down to just Only and Desp remaining. One with the Deagle, one with the P250. Tossin.
Nice shot.
Brilliantly done. Over top of the hood of the truck.
Just going to be Desp remaining now. PT50 in hand. Not long for this world, I do not think.
That's been heard. He's already done. Yeah, there you go.
Take a pause, boys. That is probably a very wise idea. You've lost 7 rounds in a row. Your money's good now. You've recovered your maximum loss bonus, so you've taken an eco. And let's work out what we can do to tackle this. Obviously, Tabson 15 frags, by the way. Wowza. That's pretty nuts.
Wowza? That is actually super nuts that he's that far ahead.
So we're working out. Obviously, they'll be buying here. The double AWP setup didn't really work out for them. As soon as a smoke execution came into towards middle, those AWPs were redundant. They did a B split, and it's got completely owned. I'm trying to work out what's going to be the best protocol for them here. Let's say the presence towards middle hasn't really been strong enough. I think paying an AWP on towards B, 1 player anchoring A, 3 rifles middle, potentially going a little bit more aggressive, try some counter boost maybe, or flashing with them trying to get that initial pick onto Crystal, who we know is working that area. That would be good, but I think 3 rifles there and just waiting for the pushes to come in would probably be what I'd be calling right now. Then you obviously got fast rotation through the vent towards B, and you can get up towards A as well. And you'll be in front of those smokes, the water smokes that the terrorists have been implementing. So
the one game that Space Soldiers don't manage to get ecoed, they find themselves in this situation regardless.
yeah, that's right.
It's definitely been Penta showing off greater skill at this point in time. I mean, Xantares has done what he can, but when Tabson's playing as he is, what more can you ask for?
Yeah, and Crystal's only got 5 frags, but he's had some really key openers as well. So frags and stats don't always paint the full picture there. But Crystal this time, he's actually got $14,000 in the reserves. Same for Tabson, he's got 9K. So these guys are pretty much hooked up for the rest of the game. As we enter round number 11 now, Space Soldiers will be buying an AWP. Desp has picked one up. And like I said before, their double AWP setup didn't really work out for them too well. So I'm not really sure what the plan of action is here. I'd say put that AWP in B alone not a rifle. A rifle alone is like a last resort. Like, it's fine, but you just don't get any information from it. It's very difficult to actually hold that off. And when the T's actually do get a couple of frags towards middle and you're there, the last player remaining, you're going to get Molotovs out of position, you're going to get naded. It's super hard to hold. So an AWP being a little bit more aggressive and getting information and potentially getting kills as well, I'd say is more viable. But let's see how they choose to go with that one. I think this tactical pause has gone off long enough, Louds. Let's get on with it.
Well, we know that Space Soldiers do take a lot of time on their tactical timeouts. We saw it twice on Cobble where they took the majority of the time in the Penta timeout and then had another one called later on.
They did the same thing. They were actually, Penta were like smashing them, and then they took this timeout. It felt like a lifetime. Just killed all the hype levels, and then they won the next 2 rounds after that. Maybe this is their next level mind game.
Call a timeout. Everyone get up from your computer. Go get a drink. Pet your dog. Tell your girlfriend you love them. They probably don't have girlfriends, but let's pretend they do.
You don't
and
have a
then get back, relax. I know I don't.
I thought you were like calling them out saying
I was, but it's not good for them.
What do you mean?
Because they're not dumb. Don't have a girlfriend.
Shout out to all the people in relationships.
Look, do whatever you got to do to recompose yourself, then sit down, then talk about the timeout, then get back into it, Henry.
Okay. You should be the coach.
Dude, I'd make the greatest coach in the history of Counter-Strike.
Sad coach.
It would be a pretty sad day if I coached. Sad day, coach.
You can be my life coach. Actually, it's probably the worst
that's
thing.
the worst idea you've ever had. Yeah, that's not going to work either. But I'd be a 6 CS coach, let's be real.
Yeah, I think it'd be pretty good.
I'd just go nuts behind you.
I think it'd be more like a Jason Lake sort of style.
Yeah, oh, buddy, would I ever.
Nice little suit on.
Yep.
Pacing up and down, screaming.
Yep.
Giving abuse to the other team.
Raging harder than the team.
Getting the crowd pumped up for everyone, getting in behind you.
Timeout because the coach breaks a chair of a team, like a player when he hits the back of it. Like, what was that?
I think that'd be pretty cool, actually.
Yeah, I could do it. I'd be like Peter, like super emotional.
Yeah, I can see that.
Make for some pretty sick photos, though, let's be real.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Well, maybe we can give it a test run. One of the teams that don't have a coach at the next event, we'll see if we can make that happen.
Get me in there?
Like a little Make-A-Wish sort of thing.
They won't even put me in comms. They'll just put me there just for the entertainment value. We do not want to hear this guy talk, but it's going to be sick.
This is the longest tactical timeout I've ever experienced.
In the history of CS?
Good Lord. What is there to talk about? It's 1 round. Let's get on with it, shall we?
Well, obviously they know what the stakes are. They want to make it to the minor as much as anyone else.
I'd just be sad that it's ready to play. It's like, okay, we've worked out what we're doing. Shall we get on with it? It's been a good while. Like 5 minutes.
If I were to list all of the teams that are eligible for a minor who has the best opportunity, like that to showcase themselves that doesn't, Space Soldiers and EFrag both come to mind. Mm-hmm. So this is a big chance for them. Yeah. Like Penta, okay, obviously, yeah, Tier 2 didn't play in the last major, but we've seen them there before, so it's like they've had opportunity in the past. I'm talking about fresh faces that this is a real chance for. Obviously, CG, that's literally fresh faces, but
maybe we'll see a UK team come through.
I didn't even have to make fun of you. You did it to yourself.
Like I said, literally, I don't think there's any chance, really. I can't think of any team that's stepping up in the UK right now.
What happened to Easy Skins?
Dead now, of course.
Dead now, of course.
Unfortunately.
It's too bad. Poor Weber.
He'll be back. I think he's looking for opportunities outside the UK now. Learn his lesson.
It's true.
Now then, we're finally back into the game. That was a long break, but it's going to be the double AWP setup once again for Space Soldiers. Only, and Des rocking that once again. As I suggested, I think the AWP solo MP is going to be a lot more viable than having an M4 cowering at the back. Just trying to go 1-on-3. Let's see how this goes down. Despa's a decent spawn as well. He could go face into A main if he so wishes. Let's see where he decides to go with that spawn. We'll be going aggressive straight towards... Oh, he is going to the door. I like this.
Yep.
Here we go.
Catch them off.
Let's go to Des, please. Okay.
Desp's in there. It works because he actually got flashed but held his ground. Xanteras took the guy on the left. That's a very successful push toward long. David P, meanwhile, will catch out only. But they still have the AWP in the B site right now. I take that back. With only down, that's gone. I thought it was in the hands of the other member alive there. Mike's going to try and push through the smoke regardless. And they've got to retreat back into the site at some point in time. Smart for Desp to go back through quad in doing so. And that won't give Mike the chance to fire away. He's still going to try and lurk in here and catch them off guard. He may do exactly that. Takes down Desp. As he and Tabson remain, but Xanteras turns back immediately. And it's all on Tabson. 1 versus 3 has the bomb. A minute to work with. And this is where Space Soldiers need not give too much away. I mean, right now they're splitting up. I'll call it a 1.5-1 setup because the two guys in mid are close enough that they can play off of each other. But where tabseN's walking into A, if he can take down Xanteras, it's a far repeak for Engine in mid right now. I would like to see them group a little bit tighter than this.
Well, good news for tabseN is he has got 40 seconds and the bomb, and the actual A bomb side's open for business. But that's okay, right? Like, even if you plant, you want to make sure it's a proper retake, not 1-on-X situations.
This is the problem.
Great,
this is exactly the problem. They're giving him a one-on-one situation. Now they've got to rotate back over to A.
I was hoping they would just let him plant and like not baiting anything and then just retake together. But obviously this is getting a little bit scary now.
I'd like to see him plant in that smoke. Super unorthodox.
That's actually pretty cool, actually.
And play it from highway. That would have been really cool in that situation. But little does he know that they're not coming from that direction. He might have expected it. So instead, plants default. It's almost another one-on-one situation, but Tugux is going to win the duel. Lots of time to let the flames extinguish, and they'll get the defuse. Space Soldiers picking up their 4th round.
Interesting clutch situation there. Obviously, getting the bomb down and finding a kill was probably all he could have hoped for in that 1v3. Had he found that second kill, who knows what would have happened with the remaining player with an AWP. But finally, once again, after the pause, Space Soldiers bounce back. Maybe there's something to those 10-minute tactical timeouts. As they get their 4th round on the board, here's a scoreboard for you right now. tabseN still leading the charge pretty heavily. Xanteras catching him up, though, slowly but surely. As we enter round number 12 now. Penta going to have one AWP once again. It's going to be Crystal. He's boosting up on the van this time. This is like a... It doesn't normally pay off. When it does, it's absolutely massive. Like, a lot of players won't get caught out by this, but it's one of the things you chuck into the mix every now and then. It's like, it's quite situational. I haven't seen it work for quite a while, but always worth a go. Has it worked? Did it happen? I don't think it did. I think that was a push from the CTs towards A storage.
Well, David's going to fire through that smoke over toward B right now, but Engine, remember, he was playing very aggressive to start things off. He's going to sit back. Quick little Molotov bounced off the pillar to try and force anyone at sandbags out. tabseN checks it just to be sure they're not getting cheeky and climbing upon the bags, and no one's there. So the man advantage resumes for Penta as they throw out some smokes and flashes toward highway. tabseN just wants to control this mid position and let the game fall in their favor. As Tossin's also waiting by Squeaky, and that'll catch out Engine. Had he not gone down there, Tossin easily would have opened up the door and caught him in transition. As the smokes are now deployed at the top of highway, tabseN can wait to walk in. The next challenge, truck. Other than that, A completely open. Tujux catches tabseN, but now the bomb gets planted. Mike's going to fire into that, so nearly, very, very nearly won that duel inside the smoke. The second effort going to be better as Desp's caught with nowhere to run and hide. Trapped against that wall. Boost toward quad as well. This should give away the position of only, but Mike's going to win that duel first, and he's got a chance to close it himself. It's not to be. Tujux gets it, but David's there.
Nice work there from Penta after losing that first gun run after the pause. They reset the money of Space Soldiers. They can't dine out on that loss bonus anymore. It's actually a really nice control take from them. You saw them get the mid control first, push the CTs back, smoke off towards highway, take away a lot of vision from them there, get them questioning themselves. Going for the A attack. Mike S doing some great work there, finding those initial kills onto the bomb site. And that's currently going to put the scoreline to 8 versus 4. Now the CT's definitely onto pretty much a full eco here. There's a few P250s, one Desert Eagle. And this could be a double eco. I didn't actually catch the cash, but definitely not going to have a strong buy next round, that's for sure. Going to number 13 here, Mike S giving full control of middle. He's got the AWP now. He seems to be just chucking around play every round, so let's see what they can do here. Xanteras go for the run boost there. It's failed, but he got some pressure from the back, so obviously make things a little bit more complicated.
I wonder if they read that this could still be a stack off of this. The bomb's heading into B regardless. It's going to be only that faces them. And Mike, as we see in the obituary on the top right, has already won that duel. tabseN is just padding stats at this point. Another one as Xanteras goes down, but he's low on HP. That'll drop him as Desp arrives with the P250. And thank you very much for the AK. With 14 HP, he may not even get to keep said AK. And there it is. David P finds him. Penta picks up number 9. An excellent first half on map number 3.
Absolutely, looking very strong right now. And here's the weak buy I discussed before. Space Soldiers don't really have many options here. Famises, no kits, 4 smokes, no incendiaries. This is another round map where they need to go for like that aggressive push towards door and A main, try to find that first frag, do something with it. They can't sit back and be fully executed on or picked off with the AWP. So something needs to be done. Someone needs to take this game by the balls and work out what they can do there.
big round for Space Soldiers to pick up. They need to fight their way back into this game. A CT side that's gone all wrong. David's going to push as well in toward Checker. That smoke after he pops out of vent will cover his cross to at least the box, and now they can try and set up for an execute. A lot of smokes deployed, though, is buying a decent amount of time for Space Soldiers, but they're not getting much position after doing Setch. And I wonder if Only's kneecap's going to be spotted here, because Crystal could walk in and just spot him if he gets there at the right time. Instead, it's actually going to be Engine who absolutely tears his head off with the FAMAS. A brilliant shot over toward his left as he nearly got caught in no man's land. Only spotted. Mike tries to spam it and can't find the correct angle, but a brilliant flash also stalls Tossin's attempt to try and catch him as he retreated to the door frame. And David's going to follow up with Tujux, but it's an even situation and low HP. That's fairly similar on both sides right now. Good push through, though. David, on that flash, is able to take down Only. As the bomb's in a good position now to plant in the back of the site. 3 players still far away from that area as well, so they've got good post-plant positions for a retake attempt from Space Soldiers. And the question is, do they stay or do they go? Because they've got one more round here.
I think for no kits, that kill makes it possible at least. Bomb hasn't got too deep just yet, but all of a sudden, the CTs are coming to life now. Actually comes down to a 2-on-1. That CT was flash, that's Engine. And now comes down to a 1-on-1. Oh, that's a really risky play. Oh my god.
I don't know why he runs back like that. He can hear that he's close. Why doesn't he just get ready for the fight, run to the corner, make him get further away from the bomb?
Exactly. That was nuts. I don't know where he's going with that one. Like, even if like, haven't got vision of the bomb wherever you're running to, that's crazy. I guess what he's going with, he's going to rush me right now, so I'll try and get out of vision and bait him further away from the bomb. It didn't really go like that.
All he had to do was go to the right, force him to go further.
No, that's fine. But like, I'm trying to analyze what was going through his head.
Yeah, sure.
But that's, a big mistake, I would say. That round looked like it was so far gone from the CTs. They somehow made that retake work for themselves. Maybe some audacious facing there from Penta, but there we go. Space Soldiers without the kits. Oh, the real arsenal to do it. Somehow win round number 14. We go to the last round of the half. Scoreline is currently 9-5 in favour of Penta. Big last round coming in. And it's going to be Only to open up receivers.
Only takes the shot on David, and Tujux in the forward angle is able to pick up yet another kill, so it almost looked done and dusted for a 10th round on Penta. Now suddenly we could be facing a 9-6 scoreline, which for Space Soldiers still isn't ideal, but it's considerably better than where they might have been otherwise. More so because they would have been on an eco this round had they not clutched out the last. Mike goes for the repeat, manages to pick up one, but Xanterra's again, as always, there for the trade, and that brings us to a 4 versus 2. Watch the player on highway, though, right now. Tossin might be undetected here, and if he catches them in this boost, that could be 2 quick kills. First shot successful. Xanterras goes low. They walk out. They line up, and Tossin may still end up with both of these kills in his favor. If he, had not run out of ammo, it might have been 3. In fact, he still turns back, and Tossin is doing a heck of a lot of work right now, but eventually Tujux has had enough. Had he not run out of ammo in his mag right there, that was a done deal. And it would have been a 2-on-1 the other way. Instead, still chance to clutch here for Space Soldiers as Tapson managed to get the bomb down, but he's going to get caught. No, snaps back and only whiffs the shot. Tapson fires in the smoke. Correct guess, but not accurate enough to take Tujux, who's gone to the AK rather than the AWP, and he's trying to get unorthodox on top of the box, but it doesn't work. Tapson on the back of Tossin will clutch out a round for Penta.
Tujux there was anticipating that angle to be faced. Had to hit one bullet and somehow didn't even land it. That's kind of crazy. I thought that kill was tied up. Huge work from Tapson there at the end. Was that 1-on-3? 20 kills from him just to add to his total. Having an absolute lights out game here. Really impressive stuff from him. Huge round to win. 10 rounds on the terrorist side of cash as well. It's pretty massive. When it comes down to this pistol now, to see whether Space Soldiers have another lifeline. There's the scores again, just in case you missed them. Xanterra 16, Tapson 20. And then for the underachievers, Engine only with 3 kills. As we go into the second half now, obviously Penta on the CT side. We'll have a look at the buy for Space Soldiers here. 4 sets of armor. 1 utility player is going to be Only. And I assume it's going to be a very similar sort of arrangement. That's what we saw last round. Smoke off one key area. Flashbangs go in. Stay as the Glock train. And we'll see what happens. Aggression coming in there from the CTs. Going straight into a storage. 4 players dedicated to that side of the map.
Crystal. He's going to get smoked off. That's going to allow the cross already from Space Soldiers, who are looking quick to get the bomb down. But look at the push from the CTs. They've already left A. In fact, they're pushing in behind. They've got Space Soldiers trapped in on that side of the map. and they're already looking very good to try and swarm the perimeter of the site. They're going to be locked to the post-plant positions. It's going to be a duel rather than a time bait, as Tossin fires over toward Desp, dinked up in return when he peeks to the right. Tabson still manages to get the kill on Engine, and now they swarm down from the vents. 2 to play onto Xanteras, who could do nothing of it. Tabson with another kill onto Desp, and Mike S closes it quickly. They were very fast to rotate from A.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, the whole idea of that is we normally see teams do that. On the CT pistol, you normally send 3 people pushing B, and that's because, like, obviously B rushes can be very common for a T side here, and that means you can catch them and actually have a real chance of having a decent gunfight there. But they kind of changed it up. They went for the full A push there. So going 2 people all to A main, 2 people squeaky door. And it just means you can either find the frags early on, or you can get very quick information there. You push all the way around, and you have 4 players coming in the back, while 1 player holds B and anchors that area. They did a very, very nice job indeed. Tabson, once again, keeping up this form as he gets 22 frags now. 2 rounds in that pistol. 2 frags in that pistol, I should say. And now it's going to be interesting to see how Space Soldiers approach this situation. But obviously, you get the bomb down. You have a buy next round. That's guaranteed. Or you could try and do the surprise play that Penta did on Dust 2, where you get the early AKs out. But without the amount of kills, yeah, you need at least 2 kills, I think, to even do that. So they can't actually bring that to the table. So you'd assume it's going to be a full eco here from Space Soldiers, and Penta setting themselves up here for a very successful 3rd map.
Well, the 3rd and deciding map. Remember, we've got 3 teams qualified. LDLC White. CG, who came absolutely out of nowhere. A Face-It Pug team. Cringe Gods is what it stands for. And before this game, we had our 3rd qualifier in the form of E-Frag. Space Soldiers versus Penta was always going to be a close-fought duel, but right now Penta has the upper hand on the last map. Keep in mind, Space Soldiers knocked out LDLC Blue as well. Flash and smoke. No, take that back. Just the smoke instead. Mike S catches Desp off, and there's a 2nd man already inside A main right now, so Only's going to retreat and be greeted by Tabson, or very rather nearly missed, but still they do pick it up, and Penta now hits 12 rounds.
And here's the buy coming in from Space Soldiers now. We knew it was coming. And to be fair, Penta have prepared for this as well. They haven't got an SMG heavy. They've got 4 rifles, 1 P90, which is absolutely fine, definitely viable. Space Soldiers now do have the AKs, only though still deciding what to buy. There we go, he will buy. He was deciding whether to go with head armor or a smoke. I think they'll be doing a solid execution here. The fact he's forced to smoke in that situation suggests to me they'll be doing an execution-based strat, and his smoke's pivotal in it. Let's see how that unfolds.
Oh, boost connect. Nope, never mind. Looked like a reverse boost play coming in from David to go above, but the Molotov's going to slow that. They're still going to go for it in the end. Only's way back toward the spawn right now. Bombs inside Big Garage, but David's already overlooked it. He will drop and get 1, but now it's traded because Only was sitting back far enough to catch that off. So information gained slightly, but it all comes back to an even situation, 4 versus 4.
So then, the Terrorists still have 1 smoke to play with, no real gain of control so far. They have Xanteras towards Squeaky Door, but without that being open, it's kind of useless at this stage. The CT's just sat there, ready to get 1 kill. And flashbang out to help him out as soon as he has to drop. 58 seconds remaining. Looks like the T's just looking for any sort of pick they can find here.
Crystal, the man boosting, ready to pop out a flash as well. So if they do come out from Squeaky or push onto that double play, then they've got some sort of escape plan. Tabson in the fence, though, missing that shot. Crucially against Xanteras to start it off means that he had no chance, even though he secured the kill against Desp, who got very, very close. And this puts pressure on Tossin in the back of the site. Speaks to his left and spots up 1, manages to take it, but an overcommitment, just a slight step too far, means that Desp can respond to that kill as well. 2 trades for him as the bomb gets to B. And a misthrown Molotov means Mike cannot deny the plant, but he can do some damage through the garage. And now they'll pinch on to Desp, who gets taken down, and it gives Penta a chance for the retake. Only's going to get beyond the site, use that smoke to his advantage, and get away from the activity.
This is really clever, actually. I don't think they'll ever anticipate this. They'll assume he's back on the bomb site still. I'd like him to go towards upper in this situation, but he's committed to CD spawn. Makes the first kill, and it's a double as well. That's pretty nuts. Really impressed by that. Only at a chance where that could have been the game there and then. The double spray down actually works out. I thought that round was over. I thought he'd get 1 and then be taken out, but somehow converts the spray to a double headshot. Lovely stuff. 10 out of 10.
Yeah, that was super well done, I have to be said. Well, that changes things on the bye because both teams are limited. The slightly better bye goes to Space Soldiers, who managed to get a Galil, 2 AKs, and 2 Tech 9s against a Scout from Crystal, 2 Deegs, and a P2 Fitty. And Xanteras walks in. Quick shot on Tosin, caught in the open. He follows that on Mike, but look at the kills going the other way. Tabson has made his Deagle come to life. He's got 2, make it nearly 3 as he does damage to Xanteras as well. But that brings it back to a 2 versus 2. And that nade, I'm afraid, was misthrown because all he did was damage to his teammate at quad. Wrong player. As David tried his best efforts to come back into the site, and Xanteras gets all 5. That's an ace for him, and a big one at that. 7 rounds now for Space Soldiers.
Let's see what they can do with this. Can they build upon it as we enter round number 20? Penta have stabilized the economy now. AWP coming out on Mike S again. It seems like he is the more favored AWPer. Like we saw Crystal open it up on the T side, but now we're in the second half. It seems like Mike S has been wielding it a little bit more, but here we go then. No warps for Space Soldiers. 5 rifles in them, but a full arsenal of grenades. Fast mid play coming in, and Tassin enjoying that free kill, fully blind through the smoke. Mike S going to work here as well, but will be neutralized by Xanteras, bringing it down to the 4 and 3 in favor of Penta.
Tosin catches Xanteras getting aggressive and trying to cut off rotations and buy more space for his team, because if he'd won that duel, it would have gotten them into the site a lot faster and given them more to work with, more security. Now Tosin can get back to CT to the tree position before the bomb's planted, so when they try and escape, that smoke will give them some cover, but they're already swarmed. And Crystal's going to walk in. That'll be her, that drop, and that gives Desp a chance. He tries to double it up, take down David P as well, but David's a little bit too quick to act, and that means 2Jux is, well, completely overwhelmed in the back of the site. That fire, is it going to reach him? No, he'll be able to defuse.
Yeah, it's fine. I was getting a little bit worried there. I was just looking to see whether they actually had a kit, whether the fire was going to be a huge problem, but it's fine. And that's going to reset the money for Space Soldiers. They do get the bomb down, so an extra injection of cash. I'm not sure what they're going to be set at right now. It's not great. They could quasi-buy if they wanted to. They can see 2Gux at 5,700, so they are going to be going for the full force buy here, actually. So 2 Tech 9s, an AK-47 on 3 players. Not much in terms of utility. This kind of play, you want to do a full smoke strat onto the A-bomb site and make the Tech 9s just go to work. They can jump through the smokes, jumping and spraying, and hope to catch a CT off guard here. That's what I'd probably be calling at this stage, but they look like to be favouring the B-bomb site here. Still works as well, obviously, getting towards checkers, make it very close range indeed. And that Tech 9 actually taking down David.
That's a problem. He spotted them and then decided, wait a minute, there's more than 1 or 2 there, and decided, okay, I better get back in the site, but that flash caught him. His teammate perished ahead of time, and this is a big opening play from Space Soldiers to get control of the B site yet again.
Save the guns. Money's been reset now. That's kind of nuts. Engine comes in, Tech 9 B rush, gets 2 kills, and literally wins the round with just those 2 frags. No problem at all. B rush works. Like you said, they actually spotted them there, but when you get stuck in their checkers area, especially having AWP as well, you're so committed, and just weren't able to react or fall back in time, and just got locked down by the running spray of the said Tech 9. So Space Soldiers getting round number 8 on the board. Penta still touching distance of match point here. So they definitely have this bed of rounds to play with. Don't need to make any silly decisions like going for those kind of retakes, 5 on 3. When the bomb's already planted, they can afford to let a couple of rounds drop off just to save the money here. You can see the money has been reset for them.
I'm not going to force into this that naturally with those saves. So
yeah,
this
with
is
3
a good
rifles
situation to be in.
The money's to drop, you definitely would force into this, so that's absolutely fine. Round number 22 now. All these maps tonight have been pretty exciting to watch. I guess Dust 2 wasn't that close, but it felt like all the rounds are very.
No, I mean, it was reasonable. It was just that Space Soldiers kind of had their way on the second half. That was when Penta fell off slightly, but Crystal now firing into that smoke, hoping for someone to peek out carelessly. And he'd pick up a preemptive kill, but not to be. It's back to 5 versus 5. Desp is going to focus on A. Bombs drop beside the big garages. They've got 1 boosted. Or take that back. Only just below the drop. I thought it looked as though he was above it. Instead, he gets flashed out middle. But caught in the act by David. That's from the vents. That forces him back inside of B. So they've given up that position, given up that space that they had control of. Either way, that gets them the first pick, and they can turtle up in the sights now.
Well then, 5 on 4, 1 minute remaining still. That's a huge pick for Xanteras there to open up the A site.
Finds the first one. Count it for the second man to be there from Highway. They're both playing from truck, though. This smoke is a problem because the bomb's going to go down at default, but it still is the man advantage for Penta, and they're close. Remember, 5 extra seconds to try and get the defuse on this rule set. So a great kill from T-Gux to slow it down further, but Mike is still doing damage as he hugged that wall inside the smoke and bought himself space and time. Both remaining players are at quad, and that's going to be figured out right now, but is it going to be dealt with accordingly because it's back to the one-on-one? It's Engine versus Tabson, and Engine makes no mistake, and just like that, Space Soldiers buy themselves another round.
Yeah, huge round at that as well. That would have been another 1400 reset moment, but they managed to capitalize and hold on as it goes to 13 plays 9. In Penta's favor still, but they're going to be on the full eco. As I mentioned before, they do have that better round to play with, but that lead is slowly being extinguished here. I'd say maybe this would be the time for them to take a tactical pause, but right now it's just coming down to those clutch situations. That round would be an absolute godsend for them, but wasn't meant to be. Looks like a fast mid play coming in from T-Gux. He's going to be leading the charge here as he makes his way out towards middle. It's a full B stack coming in from the CTs. The Science USPs kind of just hoping the T's just run into their crosshairs and maybe make something happen here.
Xanteras shows off some movement mechanics, strafes over to the ledge and walks down toward Highway to get a quick peek, but needs to watch himself desperately from Z Connector because David could have peeked out and that smoke would have limited his options. They counter smoke it instead. Stack on B. And it's just going to be a matter of time for Space Soldiers to figure this out. Once done, walk to A, free plant.
Yeah, they'll work out. There's no one there in about 10 seconds. They'll be like, well, just come plant the bomb. And when you get to this stage of Highway and you haven't spotted anyone, you can pretty much guarantee there's no one there.
Xanteras pushes on the only spot they've found. They'll check the rest of the angles. They won't overcommit to that in case that someone is poised and ready to stab them in the back. But now there's the plant we talked about. Rotations coming through mid. Engine ready to cut this off. Mike has an inkling that he's going to be somewhere in mid to do so. And does he spray the transfer? Transfer the spray, rather. He does. And that leaves just Tossin remaining.
Not really much he can do here. Just a silenced USP in hand. Decent anti-eco there from Space Soldiers. He does manage to get one, so some work.
Works out all right in the end. Space Soldiers make it to double digits, and Penta's lost momentum. Surely if they lose yet another round, specifically with this heavy investment, I imagine a timeout is going to be something we'll see. Double op setup for Crystal and Mike.
This works. Obviously it's been Mike S using the AWP. Crystal's having a pretty quiet game so far. We called him out at the bit, like halfway through the first half, saying like, oh yeah, the kills he has had have been pretty influential, but in the second half he's had 2 or 3 kills. So very quiet game from him after a really stellar performance in Dust 2, but let's see what he can do now. Double orb setup, as you mentioned. Players towards the vents. Mike S opens it up though, taking on 2 Gux. That's towards B. That's the AWP I was kind of hoping to see. It means you can leave that player there and actually have a real solid chance of holding off the bomb site.
David P. Xanteras takes him down. But Crystal's still trying to find that desperate shot through the smoke from truck. Either way, it's now allowed Space Soldiers to cross into the site and bomb again to be planted at default. And the CTs just sit back, let those utilities deployed on the entries dissolve before they go for the retake, but they weren't expecting that last Molotov to be placed at the top of Highway, so another 7-second spot before they go. And the shot from Desp, fortunately for Crystal, doesn't connect, but gives away his position at A main. Tossin wants the fight, but nearly loses his life in the process, down to 16, and Only's on the left side of that A main position. He's going to catch off Tabson. Tossin responds with one, but it's Engine right there, and it's back and forth the entire time, and suddenly Penta find themselves in a 2 versus 1 that somehow Crystal clutches out.
It's going to be close. I think he's got it. It's fine.
He's got it.
Yeah, it's fine. Extra 5 seconds. Working out for him there. Nice work. Good retake. Big round for them to win. You can see how stretched they were in terms of the cash. No kits available. But the double orbs working out. Mike is opening things up towards B, forcing the terrorists to head towards A. And then the retake.
So this round is essentially do or die for Space Soldiers, as it would give them a huge, to be honest. Exactly, gives them a huge back into the game. They've still got a couple rounds to catch up. The Penta will be able to buy again, but if they lose right now, that's it.
But if they win this round, Penta on pretty much a double eco. I think they had nothing at all left after that, but let's see. This one goes down. Looks like an A setup coming in. 4 players committed to that side of the map. Could be a fast execution as well.
Lucky that went further than I thought it did when I first saw that.
The A smokes. this.
So they even put one on Catwalk to take the off chance that anyone's waiting above. They're going to push through middle as well. T-Gux wins that duel, but David comes right back into him. So now they can focus on just the attack on A, which is successful to allow yet another bomb plant for Space Soldiers. So at least another $800, but it's not going to be enough for a buy regardless. They've got to win this.
I was going to say it might be worth a save here, you know.
Well, like you said, double eco is a pretty dangerous thought this late in the game. They're going to go for it. They're already at the top of the highway. They're around the corner. Tossing gets tagged up. He's low on HP. Xanteras pops out. Down goes David, and Crystal can't trade. Xanteras is able to hug the wall. And things are, looking more and more likely that they've got to run and hide and give up the round. Space Soldiers with number 11. Penta, simply because they'll keep 3 guns, should be okay in the next round, though.
I feel like as soon as that bomb went down and they realized they're out of the round, just keep 4 people alive. We know their money's going to be very poor here. Like I said, that better round still true. They can still work at that, but 4 people alive would have been much more useful to them. You can see the money now. That's the $1,400 coming in. They can't even drop a weapon if they wanted to. So that just shows you how huge that 4th player was.
Yep. Yeah, that's pretty big when you look at it in that perspective.
Well then, this one is going to go the distance. Round number 26. Penta's still in the lead, 3 to spare, but Space Soldiers, if they win this one, definitely have a real fighting chance to get back into it.
And these double ops, they've got to take a pretty forward stance, because if they can open things up, it could be work for them. Excuse me. Crystal tries exactly that at B, but no one comes around the corner, much to his chagrin. And now a smoke off will allow David to push further, but he's spotted. Absolutely, they had to have seen that. There's no way he didn't get spotted through that edge of the smoke. He's going to try and still catch them off, gets forward of the box. Now he's got the AK and perhaps the escape, so now it is 4 rifles. And look at this, the aggressive play. Hats off to David as he goes right back in and only finally shuts him down. But that's a huge play to give them the situation they're in. Penta now with 4 playing 2. And Crystal, just to hold the angle, they've committed to that checkers position. And now a crossfire set as well. 3 members inside the site as David makes it all to play for. Taps and forces the issue. Goes against Xanteras. Goes down, but 32 HP, excuse me, for Xanteras. And not much of an escape means Tossin just needs to hold the angle.
I wasn't sure that pick was worth it, to be honest, from Tabson. So 4 on 2. Now you've made it a 3 on 2. And a little bit more scary now. And there is 40 seconds remaining. They have a huge amount of intel as to what's going on. They know they're in checkers, but...
Oh, that's close. That's very close. He tagged him that time. No, rather Crystal gets him instead, but there it is. Penta. And it has to be said, David made all of that happen.
That flash through the smoke, that was pretty cool. Like, you see the terrorist had no idea that was coming. Really nice movement from him. And essentially won them the round as well. They get themselves on series points. Money isn't fantastic for Space Soldiers. Desert Eagle and Tech 9 on Xanteras and T-Gux respectively. And we have only with the AWP. Do or die time now. As we enter round number 27. Double orb setup still strong for Penta. If they really have stabilized the cash after that huge win on that round.
Smoke on A, no flash through, but Tabson, he's going to push it anyway. Now the flash comes in late. There's 2 members there. Only's able to trade it very quickly, but he's limited in his movement. Great second shot. Tossing a bit of an overcommitment. Should have backed out immediately, knowing the situation at 11 to 15 and how tight the money is.
Yeah, still a 3 on 3, but like you said, I think definitely falling back in that situation. You knew you had the orb, and you're just hoping he misses you. I wouldn't have refaced that, but here we go then. Oh, 4 on 3. Beg your pardon, Xanteras couldn't quite
That's
do
true.
HP.
2 HP. That does catch it off slightly. As Crystal now is going to face off toward A main. We haven't seen the op play quad too often in this game, but if ever a time to make it work, it's right now. Crystal wins against Only. Nearly takes the shot through the wall, but David closes it with the nade. And now they've got to come back into this a man down. It's already back to the 2 versus 2. Engine takes Crystal, but look at David's position. He's just got to wait. They've got to cross. No utilities. And damage dealt already. They turn back and get the kill. But that helps Mike slightly. It's still the op, so maybe not. Maybe it doesn't matter, but the bomb goes down. Why in Devil's name is he facing in that situation?
I literally couldn't tell you. What the hell was that? How to throw a game if they lose this round.
And Mike's been clever about this. He's rotated back toward the highway position. Tujux almost puts himself in an exposed area, but now it's going to be planted on default. And has Tujux any idea that this is what Mike's been up to? Pop flash out, again nearly shows himself. Now that shot gives it away as he goes for the wall bang.
Hello.
And okay, we're going op versus op. Tujux favors himself in this situation, and he makes it work. I have to say that's impressive.
Everyone's asking the HP. And it wasn't too low, I'm afraid. Wow, what a round.
That was pretty impressive stuff to come back into that one. Space Soldiers fight for survival, and now look at the cash on Penta's side.
This has been so back and forth. Space Soldiers gifted yet another large line here.
Yeah, I mean, consider that this came to a one-on-one, and we saw that overcommitment in A main.
Yeah, Engine, like, all he had to do was plant there. He decided, I'll have a face with the
Well, that's true. That as well. I was more thinking about the
Oh,
CT
yeah,
thing,
sorry, yeah,
the
you're talking
double
about the
face
one, yeah.
with Tossin.
Yeah, that didn't make sense.
Well, David's forced all the way back to the Z connector with the Deagle.
They've come to that B stack once again with the USPs.
We're not done yet. Overtime, a likely possibility in this situation as
ever looming.
Tujix gets in toward Toxic. We see on our screen from X-Ray in this position that Engine is boosted on red at mid. David fires a shot of warning, but it falls upon deaf ears in the middle because the rest are attacking onto A. And again, you mentioned it, that stack. They're going to evaluate the situation. They were clever enough to figure it out last time. Player at truck spotted already, but still not the confidence to know that the off angles are covered. Desp nearly hits that shot toward truck, goes for a second effort, still hasn't landed it. No rotation out of B after all of this, but no one else facing after all these shots. There's no reason for Space Soldiers to cower too soon, and they won't. But okay, Desp, you've got to land it eventually.
They've established the bomb site now. You can see the bomb rotating over, and Penta.
Come on, Desp, I believe in you. Xanteras does it for him instead.
Now then, 4 USPs, no utility, no kits. This is just a round. If they can get a gun, save it, that'd be great. And there's one shot. Tabson does take down only. Doesn't manage to salvage the gun just yet, as he is taken down by Desp in the process. Just Crystal and Mikesh remaining, but I'm not really sure what the plan is here. Maybe save a Deagle.
Teres takes the shot back into Crystal. That's another kill for him toward the truck, and it's just down to Mike. We're going to go to 15-13.
Yep.
The money should just be enough that Penta will be able to buy.
I think so. Pause coming in finally.
David, the one to call it.
I feel like Penta have been a little bit unlucky. Like they've come so close to these clutch situations going in their favor. Oh, the money. This is the worst point to be in. Right?
Yeah, they're just shallow of where I thought. I thought they'd all be around the 4K mark. They tried to run in at the end of that as well after the bomb detonated to get a gun, and they didn't make it in time.
If you buy up in a situation you lose the round, you'll hate yourself because you'll be like, well, we might have just thrown the game literally because we tried to end it too early. I would say take the eco, and let's make sure we finish this properly. You got 3 players on sub 4K. Crystal can afford an AWP if you wanted him to go glass cannon, but it's such a high risk play.
I mean, it's force lose, go to overtime, or save lose, go to overtime. And have a better chance for a win, better chance for a buy. It's the same result if you lose. The game's not over. It's not like they're desperate.
Yeah, it's true, but like I would still finish it with high. I'd rather finish it with a higher percentage chance of winning the round.
Yeah. I think that. Sorry, I didn't mean to sound like I was disagreeing. I was trying to make it clear that. I mean, I think that's forcing doesn't do much in this situation.
And they're going to be
the
doing
same effect.
A save here essentially. So they want to finish this off properly.
Interesting that Mike brought into that aggressively because he's the lowest money holder, and Crystal's going to save completely. Obviously, Crystal wants AWP, but even still, he could have afforded the pistol more so than Mike. Someone's in the bathroom.
Again.
The water closet.
Well then, we said this game will probably go right down to the wire, and it really has. I'm sure we're going to see all 30 rounds here. Whether we'll go to overtime is yet to be seen, but...
Well, it's definitely a possibility as we see it now, the way it sits. Space Soldiers coming back into this late. We're down at one point, I believe, 14-8.
Yeah, coming back here. Do they have what it takes to get this to overtime? 2 rounds required. Desp has got the AWP in hand. And money becomes almost redundant here. Obviously, one more round for Penta. Gives them the spot of the LAN final. If you're just joining us, where have you been? You've missed a hell of a series so far. Kick things off on Cobble. Penta looked very strong on that map. It was a close game, but they came out on top. And then we went to Dust 2. That's when Space saw the crescendo. the final rounds of cash money.
Baby.
To work out who will be joining us at the LAN finals at the end of the month. A lot of events coming up in January. We're going to be busy,
There's a lot
busy
of events
boys.
in January. Equal amount in February by the looks of it as well.
Is your body ready?
No. It never is. Crystal's actually, okay, so this is interesting. I called that he didn't do anything while the rest forced up and he had the high money situation. He's gone for a scout.
It's fair enough. He kept his money at 3,200, so...
Yeah, he should be fine for an op next round regardless, but this is still... Crystal going all in. Every penny counts.
Let's see what they can do here. The unpause has come in. Hype levels are rising again. May I remind you, it's 1 round required for Penta. Space Soldiers holding on for dear life here as we enter round number 29. I'm sure they'll be taking things very slowly. They know the money's probably not great for Penta. Don't want to force the issue too much here.
Flash
Setting up the smokes again outside A. Maybe a faker this time though.
Well, they're putting a lot on Tujix to try and open up the B side. I haven't seen a boost mid come out from Space Soldiers in quite a while, but decoys used inside A main. It's still going to be Engine to take down tabs and open it up.
They did all the smokes, did the decoys in A main. That's actually a pretty cool use of them. And they're hoping to keep the CTs over there, but it hasn't really worked too well as they are rotating back over towards B. It is a 5-on-4 in their favor still though.
Austin tries to walk out off the flank of that pop flash. It does catch Desp on the second effort, but he still manages to take down David P. and tossing inside the site has perished as well. 2 to go before they will put themselves into the final round of regulation. They've kept all 5 alive. There's the tag first from Crystal. Misses the second shot, but bomb now down. Mike S gets at least 1 kill. I'd say that's all she wrote for this one. Crystal just desperate to take someone's head off, and that doesn't even happen. Xantheras is there, and this round decides the fate of the match.
Here we go then. Round number 30. We have the double orb setup coming in once again for Penta. It'll be Crystal and Tabson with this time. It's been Mike S who's been warping the most. This is kind of weird. They kind of mix it up and pass it around quite a lot it seems, but...
Well, look at Tabson's spawn though.
I guess that's the only reason he can actually do something aggressive, maybe against A main or Squeaky.
I think he's going to pop flash A main.
Let's have a look.
Okay, or not.
Doing anything with it.
David P. back to middling position of passiveness toward that Z connector right now. Tabson's going to look toward A main, so they actually went for the run boost on Mike to get him up on the boxes. Which I guess that was the plan.
But Mike's been AWPing
that is weird.
effectively.
Yeah. You could have done that the other way around. And Mike's trying to look at the wall to use the sound cues to figure out exactly how far Xantheras has walked up long. What he doesn't realize is that Only's walked into the site. Only not able to get the frag, though. Does go down to Mike in the end, and Mike jumps across knowing that the door's open below him and naturally would be waiting for his drop. So a smart first pick by Penta, and they fall back and make sure that they don't give that lead away. They don't give any inches to the Space Soldiers who are looking to take miles, and Tabson finds another on Xantheras, so even though he went for the op, he's made it work so far. Misthrown Molotov.
It's one of the biggest scalps to take on the Space Soldiers side as well. 5-on-3 situation. And you have a couple of smokes to play with now, and a Molotov. But some huge individual plays here required if Space Soldiers are not going to be eradicated now from the minor qualifier.
And they come back so well in this game.
These are the most heartbreaking ones. To
force this 30 rounds. Yeah, absolutely. And remember, they lost by 2 rounds on Cobble as well. It's got to be desperate from them at this point, but at the same time, careful and calculated. Desp gets 1 on Crystal, but Tossin's there to take down Tugukson as they try and push on to his position. David P arrives in heaven, and the bomb has been dropped.